Hi, I'm Akeisha Foster, a bachelor's level social worker, a mom of 3 little people on the autism spectrum, and in today's video series on how to read your IEP, I am going to walk you through the service and accommodation section. Okay, let's get into it. Let's define these 3 terms, starting with services. They are instructions. This means that a service provider, whether that is a special education teacher or a speech pathologist, is actively teaching your child a skill. Next is accommodation. They give your child access. So they do not change what your child is learning, but it does change how your child participates. And last is modification. They change the expectation. So this means a curriculum is adjusted or modified to change what your student is expected to do. Now, let's look at the service page. This page answers 5 important questions. 1. What is the service? In this example, the service is specialized academic instruction. 2. Who is providing it? The district of service is listed, which typically means the special education teacher is going to be providing this service. 3. How often does it happen? 60 minutes, 5 days per week. That means Vivian receives specialized academic instruction every day. In the comments, it shows how this is divided. 2 days for math, 3 days for language arts. 4. Where is the service taking place? For Vivian, this is a pull-out service. Pull-out means that the student leaves the general education classroom and receives instruction in a separate setting, often called the learning center or the resource room. With push-in services, the provider supports the student inside the general education classroom. Finally, 5. How is the service being delivered? Vivian is working in a small group. If she needed individual support, she would work one-on-one with the service provider. If you think that your child isn't receiving the services listed on their service page, you can request the service logs. The school must document when services are delivered. Service log shows the date, the provider, and the minutes served. In California, the school must provide educational records within 5 business days of the written request. If the service was missed because of the school, not because your child was absent, you can request compensatory services to make up for that missed time. Now, let's look at accommodations. Remember that every IEP is individualized, so your child's accommodation may look similar to Vivian's or may look completely different. The supports are based on what your child needs. So, in Vivian's plan, one accommodation is giving directions in multiple ways. So, the teacher might say the directions out loud, she may write them on the board, and then she may give Vivian a simple checklist at her desk. Same lesson, same expectation, just more ways for Vivian to understand what she needs to do. I've linked a resource below with the accommodations organized by needs, so you can explore the supports that fit your child's needs. Now, let's talk modification. One of the modifications in Vivian's plan is reducing the amount of work on the page. This is not about lowering her expectation. Think scalpel, not butcher knife. So instead of 25 problems, Vivian might complete 10 that target the skill that is being taught. So the goal is to build understanding without piling on that extra work. Another section that you may see is other supports for school personnel or students or on behalf of students. Listen, the IEP is a team document. So if your child receives services from multiple providers, such as the general education or special education teacher, speech, occupational therapy, those team members should be communicating with each other. Collaboration should not only be happening at that IEP annual meeting, it should be happening throughout the school year. So everyone is working on supporting your child's goals. When the team shares strategies and information, the skills that your child develop are more likely to carry over in different settings. Now, there is one more support that every IEP should include, and that is meaningful parent participation. We're not in that classroom every day. So in order to make sure that that IEP is being implemented as it is written, we need communication. And I'm not just talking about that annual IEP meeting or the quarterly progress reports. No, communication between home and school, it needs to be ongoing. We need to be able to check in with our teacher, connect with our service providers, and address our concerns as they come up in real time. So when communication is written in as a support in the IEP, it is no longer a suggestion, it is a requirement. This doesn't mean that the school is going to automatically reach out every time something is happening. You may still need to start the conversation or do those check-ins from time to time. But what it does mean is that communication with you as the parent is a part of the plan in supporting your child. I hope that this video series on how to read your child's IEP has been helpful. And if it has, then share with another family who might need it too. Because when we understand this process, we can stand on business 10 toes down and advocate for our children with intention. And if you're navigating this journey and you have thoughts or questions, meet me in the comment section below, because it's where we as parents learn and support one another, and it reminds us that we are not in this by ourselves. It takes a village. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.